All right, so, Juan. I'm calling you or Jonathan? I mean, now that I finally learned y'all's names, I'm going to give you an option of who I call on. You'll take it? Okay. Juan. Of the numerator or the top piece for the denominator, I need you to factor one of those two for me. I'll give you your choice. You factor out the bottom. Okay, go ahead. You're going to take out a 4. 4 is common to both. So that's always your first rule of factoring. Take out the 4. What are you left with? A minus 3. Very nice. Now, Jonathan, you saw what kind of friend he is. When given an option between the two, he left you the top one. That's real nice of him. Bust it out. Go ahead.
You're going to take out A minus 3, parentheses.
A minus 3. This is the difference of two cubes. Go ahead.
And the other bracket is going to be A squared.
A squared plus, remember SOAP. Same, opposite. 3x plus. I was just testing you. You passed. 3a. And don't act like y'all never done that before. Plus 9. I know what some of y'all are thinking too. Minus 5. All right. You weren't thinking that, were you, Kayla? You'd give me credit, wouldn't you? Yeah, of course. Because I'd give you credit. All right. Do we recognize anything that are the same? A minus 3 and A minus 3 are the same. We can cancel those, yes? Boop, boop. What are we left with? I'll do it. A squared plus 3a plus 9 over 4, and that is your final answer. Yes?
I don't remember, but to cancel them out, do the signs have to be the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Just for observation, the question was, in order to cancel, do the signs have to be the same? Does it have to be a plus 5, a plus 5? The answer is yes. If it's a plus 5, a minus 5, then you cannot cancel. Okay? All right. Rona. I'm going to have you factor one of the two. We're going to let Elise factor the other. You choose which one you want to do. She's going to do the numerator. What do you get? X plus 2, X minus 1. Elise?
And I have X minus 1. I already know that's wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Because the both addition signs.
Yes. So you're going to get X plus 2, X plus 3. Now, is there anything that's the same? X plus 2 is the same for both, right? So let's cross that off. What are you left with? X minus 1 over X plus 3.
Do you have to put the parentheses in this one?
Say it again, please.
Like this, X minus 1, do you have to put the parentheses? 'Cause I do.
No, you don't have to. The question was, can you put the parentheses around here? Do you need to? Do you not need to? The answer is you don't need to. If you do, it's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Only if there's more than one piece would you want to do that. Okay. Esteban. Holy moly. We got a lot here. Esteban, I'll let you choose one of those four. I'll label them for you A, B, C, or D. And I will tell you that D cannot be factored. What's your first step, Esteban? When you see division, what's your first step? Use the reciprocal and do it the other way. So 3x squared minus 14x minus 5 over x minus 5 times x plus 3 over 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. Now, Esteban, I will tell you that this one, the x plus 3, this one and this one do not factor. Right? The only two that factor are these two that are left. This one and this one factor. Now, Esteban, you're going to have to factor one of them. I'm going to let your brother do the other one. Now, you're the older brother, right? He's the older brother, okay. About like 2 minutes or something, right? 1 minute, okay. I think because he's the older, he should take the harder one of the two. Just what I think. I'll let you decide. Are you going to do left or right? You're going to do left? Okay, Esteban. What do you get?
X plus 1, x minus 5.
3x plus 1 and x minus 5. Is that right? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course. I mean, Esteban did it. Daniel. I think he took the harder of the two. I don't know that for sure. What do you think? So, there you go. They're both easy. Factoring's easy, see? You just have to ask Daniel.
You didn't say factoring was easy. You said that was both were.
Okay, good point. Fair enough. Daniel, what'd you get?
I got 3x plus 1 and x plus 1.
3x plus 1 and x plus 1. Now, what cancels? 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1. What else?
X minus 5.
X minus 5. Flower power. All right, let's take a look. This. What are we left with?
Oh, x plus 3 over x plus 1.
All right, good job. Jared, it's almost your time. Not yet, though. It's almost. Luke, you know I'm not going to ask you to factor anything like x squared minus 9 because you're a baseball player and that's too simple for you. Jimmy, we need to factor either this or this. I'm going to let you choose, and then I'm going to come to my Yankees friend.
She said no.
She said no. I'm not going to come to her at all. That was JK. Jimmy, go ahead.
On the left is x minus 3 and x plus 3.
I got x minus 3, x plus 3. My Yankees friend. Nothing. She's given up talking for Lent. It's all good. Michael. Factor the other piece for me, please.
I got x plus 1 and
X plus 1, x minus x minus 6. Does that give me a positive 6?
No.
So they should
negative 2 and negative 3. Okay, let's check. Does it work for the middle?
Oh, it's because I had
Negative 2x.
I had positive 2 and negative 3.
There's your negative 5x. It does work. All right, so here's the question. What's your common denominator? How do you go about finding it? The common denominator, everybody listen, has to include all pieces of the denominator. So if we label these as A, B, C, and D, all 4 of those have to be part of the common denominator. Okay? So how do you find the common denominator? Just start listing down all the pieces you have. You have A, which is x minus 3. If it doesn't repeat, you have to put it. X plus 3. That didn't repeat, so we have to put it. X minus 2. If it doesn't repeat, you have to put it. X minus 3. Well, now that one actually does repeat, right? Because this one is... It's right there. Screw you. It's there. I'm pointing at it. You just have to know that. Okay? So you don't write it again. Now, when you go to do this, problem, what you need to ask yourself is, all right, I've got the x minus 3. I've got the x plus 3. What portion of the common denominator do I not have? I don't have the x minus 2. So if I put it on bottom, I must also put it on top. Now, over here, I've got the x minus 2. I've got the x minus 3. What piece am I missing? I'm missing the x plus 3. If I put it on bottom, I must also put it on top. Now, here's where the biggest mistake is made. The biggest mistake people make is not learning to take this and extend it and make this one big fraction. Before you do anything, extend it, make it one big fraction. Make it look like this. X minus 2 plus 2, x plus 3, all over x minus 3, x plus 3, x minus 2. Now, distribute. Okay. You get x squared minus 2x plus 2x plus 6 all over x minus 3, x plus 3, x minus 2. Now you'll get x squared plus 6 over x minus 3, x plus 3, x minus 2. And then you can stop there. Let's pause here for station identification. As we move on to the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to factor this one together. This is x plus 2. So now look, you got, we're going to call them A, B, C, and D. You got 4 pieces again. The common denominator has to include all 4 pieces. So it's got to include the A. It's got to include x plus 2. It's also got to include B. So it's got to include what? X. Now it's got to include what? C is the x, right? Do I already have it there? Do I already have the x plus 2? So since I have both of these already there, since this one is there and this one is there, I don't add any more to the common denominator. If there would have been an x plus 8, then I would have had to add the x plus 8 there, because if it's in the bottom, it's got to be part of the common denominator. But I don't have an x plus 8, so that's the common denominator. The common denominator is x plus 2 and x. So, with that being said, I'm going to leave it to you, if you haven't done so, to go ahead and try to work that out. All right, so here we've got the x plus 2. So what we're missing is the x. So we're going to go x plus 2. We're missing the x, so we're going to go ahead and throw that on bottom. If I put it on bottom, let's also put it on top.
Could you bring the x plus 2 up?
You mean here? On the first one?
You have x plus 2 on the bottom.
No, you can't put it on top. The only way you could do that would be to have a negative exponent, or to have it missing in the denominator, one or the other. So now we got minus 3 over x. What am I missing? I'm missing the x plus 2, so that will go on top then. And lastly, this other piece, I'm not missing anything, as both pieces of the common denominator on the bottom already. Again, before you do anything, extend that line all the way over. Make it x times x minus 3x plus 2 plus 5 over x plus 2. It may seem like a simple step. It may seem like it's not really that necessary. I've been doing this for number of years, and just trust me on this one, okay? All right, I know a little bit about it. This is going to be x squared minus 3x minus 6 plus 5 over x plus 2. Notice it's minus 3x minus 6. Does everybody see that? What happens to a lot of people, they get the x plus 2x here on the bottom, minus 3x, x plus 2. What happens to a lot of people when they do this, they distribute the 3, and they get 3x plus 6, and not 3x minus 6. Does everybody see that? That's why extending that line is so important. It gets you to 3 in a spot where you're going to be able to distribute it correctly. All right. And finishing that up, you get x squared minus 3x minus 1 over x plus 2. And that, my friends, is your final answer.